Galizia was described as a thorn in the side of the establishment and the criminal underworld. She'd highlighted alleged corruption by senior politicians, including Malta's Prime Minister, who has denied any wrongdoing. It's not known who carried out the attack. Andrew Plant reports.
The wreckage of a car in the distance. Daphne Caruana Galizia was driving near her home on Monday afternoon when the bomb went off. In the foreground here, the site of the explosion, powerful enough to blow her car off the road, it ended up in the fields beyond. Daphne Caruana Galizia was a thorn in the side of Malta's establishment, described as a one-woman WikiLeaks, the most recent revelations pointing a finger at Malta's Prime Minister, Joseph Muscat, and claims of corruption linked to the Panama Papers, claims that he has denied. No one has claimed responsibility for the attack. Investigators are quoted in local media saying the bomb appears to have been outside the car. It's known that Caruana Galizia had recently claimed she'd received death threats and her website had been targeted by hackers. Hundreds gathered for a vigil on Monday evening, paying their respects to the popular journalist, wife and mother of three, walking to a local bay and lighting candles in her memory.
As a Maltese citizen, I think Daphne was not only a journalist and an absolutely fearless human being, but a fourth pillar of our democracy, and today's heinous crime was not only against a human being, against a journalist, but against a pillar of everyone's democracy.
Malta is the EU's smallest member. The 53-year-old journalist had been driving in daylight close to her home in Mostar. Her son said to have heard the explosion and rushed outside to find the wreckage. Malta's Prime Minister has condemned the killing, calling it a barbaric attack. Meanwhile, Malta's President has said a team from the FBI is on its way to the island to help investigate the murder. Andrew Plant, BBC News.
Well, a little earlier I spoke to Rosemary Doricans, a former journalist who now works as a teacher. She was at that vigil for Daphne Caruana Galizia and described the scene there.
In fact, yes, I was overwhelmed yesterday with the attendance of thousands of people in Slima at the vigil, and I could see, doubt on their faces, and she was not one of the most loved bloggers we had on the island, let's face it, but she stepped on many toes. However, you could see the sentiment of the Maltese people was of sadness and anger as well.
How confident are people that the people behind this will eventually be caught?
I don't know. I hope they will, and I hope, like the Prime Minister said, that justice will be done. And this is not the first car bomb that happened in Malta, but I think this is not the same. There is not the same motive behind this. I don't know. I really wish I would know.
Yeah,
but,
as you say, it's not the first car bomb, and in the past, car bombs have been used by warring criminal gangs, haven't they? So perhaps it points the finger to that, because she was a fierce critic of not only people in the establishment, but also the underworld.
Yes, but at this point in time, we don't know nothing. No one took responsibility of this heinous act, and there's an investigation going on, and I hope that the FBI now will do the work that we need. We need to know who did this. This is an attack on journalism, full stop.
Tell us more about Daphne. What was she like as a person?
I never met her. I just know her through her work. And she was very controversial. It's not that she never gave interviews. I saw her once. Face to face in Brussels, but I never talked to her. But she was a person who always wrote in her blog immediately when something was wrong or something had to be said. So that's why many people refuse to think that she was the voice of everyone, but in fact everyone followed her.
Rosemary Doricans speaking about that murdered journalist.